this, I had this memory that was just the most profound thing of just things that I had buried. And I know it can be kind of cliche to talk about like the root of why and that exact moment X, Y, and Z happened. But I remember like it was yesterday. I had gone on this church trip. It was a girls' church trip. And it was the women, it's called the Young Women's Program. It's, that's like the Bible study Sunday thing for girls. And we had gone on this retreat to this like gorgeous lake. And we had set up our tents and there were canoes. And I've been on the water since I was a kid. I know how to use a canoe. I was a Girl Scout for like 8 years. And I wanted to take the canoe out. And the women said, no, we can't take the canoe out until the last day of camp when the men come up, because the bishop, the head of the local congregation, was going to come up because he has the priesthood and he was going to like preside over like a fireside meeting. Like the patriarch was going to arrive and we could all talk about what we learned on this trip in his presence. And I was told, no, you can't take the canoes out. We have to wait for the men to get here. And feeling like, okay, well, that's stupid. Why does no one else think that's stupid? Like, come on now. And I remember really vividly that on the last day, it's so funny that I get emotional about this because it's a canoe and I had one at home. It's not like I even really wanted to go out on that particular day. But I remember that the day that the bishop did show up, he just took the canoe out without asking if anybody wanted to go out with him. And he was being very unsafe. I don't even remember if he was wearing a life jacket. He was like pretending to tip the boat over. And I was appalled. I was standing on the shore and I was appalled. And I was trying to tell the young women's leader, like, he needs to stop doing that. This could happen, that could happen, and being shushed. And realizing that like that was going to be my life, was we were going to wait around for men to tell us who we could be and maybe let us hang out with them. And we weren't, even if like we were more qualified in some way. Like, I know that's arrogant. I was 13, but I was more qualified than this middle-aged man who was, goofing around in a lake. And just like the awareness of how just frustrated and it was like trying to argue about it. Like I looked around and like everyone had backed away from me, and realizing that I was just like, like marked as like a problem one.
And the loneliness of that moment, I'm sure, was palpable.
And that that I've always been kind of an outspoken person. I mean, I'm not like screaming or yelling or anything, but I've always spoken my mind, and definitely in that environment that I talked about of how everyone's trying to get married and there are only so many people, I very quickly was singled out as someone who was assumed to be secretly gay, which was bad. I'm not, but it's obviously, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If I was, I would be, but I wasn't. I was just very outspoken, and it was used as a slur. And it was used as a slur by boys that I was supposed to want to impress. And that was really shocking to me.
And also to say, I'd heard recently just about the Mormon Church starting to look at changing their stance on homosexuality, and that is, it's going to take a while, I'm sure, but I was very happy to hear that it's something they're starting to look at.
I know that there's definitely a lot of young people who are gay, who have had a a much worse time than I did. I got ostracized by boys my own age for something they assumed I was, but I didn't have the added heartbreak of, being the thing that I was told was wrong.
Mm.
I have friends who grew up closeted, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.